At the end of the 8th century, the Carolingian Empire under the leadership of Charlemagne reached the height of its power and influence. Charlemagne decided to expand his territory southeast, targeting the Avars, a nomadic people who controlled Transdanubia, present-day Hungary. The Avars were famous for their brutality and were a constant threat to the eastern borders of the Carolingian Empire. Charlemagne, with the ambition to consolidate and expand his empire, organized a major expedition in 791 to destroy the threat from the Avars. Charlemagne gathered a large force, including cavalry and infantry, from all over the empire. The army marched through the rugged lands of Central Europe, overcoming many difficulties in terrain and climate. They crossed jungles, hills, and plains, facing sporadic attacks from nomadic tribes. Even so, the Frank army still advanced with great determination towards the Drava River, where the Avars were gathering their forces. As they approached the Drava River, the Frankish army began to see signs of the Avars. The Avars, knowing in advance of the expedition, made careful preparations to defend their territory. The initial encounters between the two sides were fierce, with many losses on both sides. The Avars used guerrilla tactics, taking advantage of the terrain to make things difficult for the Franks. Charlemagne directed his generals to establish a strategy to deal with this situation. Charlemagne decided to launch a large-scale attack across the Drava River to dislodge the Avars from their defensive positions. The Frankish army used temporary bridges and rafts to cross the river under the protection of archers and catapults. Fighting was fierce on both banks of the river, with the Avars trying to prevent the Franks from crossing the river. Charlemagne encouraged his soldiers, leading the attack with determination. The Avars resisted fiercely, organizing fierce counterattacks to protect their territory. They used guerrilla tactics and terrain advantages to inflict heavy losses on the Franks. The war was fierce, with many small skirmishes and major battles. Even so, Charlemagne maintained morale and directed his soldiers to attack relentlessly. After several days of fighting, the Frankish army finally broke through the Avars' lines and advanced deep into their territory. The Avars, although fighting bravely, could not resist the strength and discipline of Charlemagne's army. Avar strongholds and bases were captured and destroyed. This victory marked an important step forward in Charlemagne's campaign in Transdanubia. He appointed Frankish officials to administrative positions, established new laws, and ensured the security of the region. The presence of the Frankish army here helped maintain order and prevent future uprisings. Guard posts and fortresses were built to protect newly occupied lands. The battle at the Drava River was one of Charlemagne's great victories in his campaign to expand his empire to the southeast. This victory not only consolidated his power, but also opened a new phase in the history of the Carolingian Empire. Charlemagne's legacy is marked by the stability and prosperity of the empire under his leadership, along with administrative and military reforms that left a profound mark.